What Deion Sanders said about Jordyn Tyson's Colorado departure. Success at ASU. Now starring for the Arizona State Sun Devils, wide receiver Jordyn Tyson will make his first appearance at Folsom Field on Saturday since leaving the Colorado Buffaloes in 2023. Coach Deion Sanders opened up on Tyson's transfer and his success at ASU. On Saturday, former Colorado Buffaloes wide receiver Jordyn Tyson will return to Folsom Field for the first time since leaving the program in the spring of 2023. Tyson impressed during Colorado's one-win season in 2022, but entered the transfer portal soon after Coach Deion Sanders was hired and is now starring for the Arizona State Sun Devils. After totaling over 1,100 receiving yards last season, Tyson leads ASU with 628 this year despite missing the past few games with a hamstring injury. While things didn't work out between Coach Prime and Tyson in Boulder, there appears to be no bad blood between the two. Ahead of Saturday's reunion, Sanders was asked about the former Buff during this week's episode of Coach Prime's Playbook. When Jordyn Tyson steps into Folsom Field this Saturday, he won't just be another visiting wide receiver running routes on familiar turf. He will be a reminder of what could have been, and of how drastically college football careers can change with a single decision. Tyson, now a star at Arizona State, will walk back into Boulder for the first time since transferring away in the spring of 2023. And as his cleats touch the grass he once called home, the questions return with him. Why did he leave? What changed? And how does Deion Sanders feel watching one of Colorado's most gifted young receivers turn into a breakout star somewhere else? Sanders answered those questions this week, and his remarks carried far more respect and admiration than bitterness. Because for all the talk surrounding transfers, rebuilding, and the chaos of roster turnover, the truth is simple. Tyson had the talent when he was in Boulder. He just needed the timing, the structure, the confidence, and the environment to elevate him. At Arizona State, he found all four. In 2022, Tyson was one of the few bright spots on a Colorado team that limped to a single win. Even on a struggling offense, he stood out with electric playmaking ability, finishing the year with 22 catches for 470 yards and 4 touchdowns, leading the team in receiving despite missing time late in the season with a severe knee injury. His explosiveness, balance, and natural fluidity made him a clear future number one option. Coaches saw it. Fans saw it. Opponents definitely saw it. But everything changed when Deion Sanders arrived. For the new staff, it was a reset. For the existing roster, it was a crossroads. The transfer portal became one of the busiest in the country as Colorado rebooted its identity overnight. Tyson, still recovering from his knee injury, entered the portal soon after Sanders' hiring and found his way to Tempe. Whether the decision was rooted in fit, opportunity, trust, or timing, only Tyson knows for sure. But what happened next turned him into one of the Pac-12's rising stars. After missing 2023 recovering from that knee injury, Tyson returned to form in spectacular fashion last season. He piled up over 1,100 yards, making him one of the most productive receivers in the conference. This year, despite missing multiple games with a hamstring injury, he still leads Arizona State with 628 receiving yards. To go from injured to unstoppable is no small feat, and Sanders notices. On this week's episode of Coach Prime's Playbook, Sanders' reaction to Tyson's success was anything but resentful. It was almost fatherly. He's a first-round caliber guy, Sanders told CBS Colorado's Romy Bean. He had that ability when he was here. He just didn't have it together. I'm proud of him. I think he's a Texas kid. He's done some phenomenal things for that program. He got his confidence up, he got his work ethic right, and I'm proud of him, I really am. You want to see a kid succeed. Whether he succeeds here or not, you want the best for him. It's rare to hear that from a coach in today's hyper-competitive portal-driven era. Transfers can create awkward narratives. Coaches feel betrayed, players feel overlooked. But Sanders has never approached roster moves with ego. He has always preached accountability, opportunity, and growth. If a player needed a new environment to flourish, he never viewed that as a personal loss. Tyson's story fits that mindset perfectly. And Tyson is not the only former Buff returning to Folsom Field this weekend. Alongside him will be tight end Chamon Metaye and defensive back Kindrich Breedlove. Metaye never played a single snap at Colorado, yet has emerged as one of ASU's most dependable options, with 370 receiving yards this season. Breedlove, once a depth piece in Colorado's secondary, has carved out a meaningful defensive role with 24 tackles and 3 passes defended. 3 players, 3 different journeys, 1 shared return. Colorado safety Ben Finiseth, who remains close with Breedlove, expressed how meaningful these moments can be, both for the athletes and for those who watch them grow. JT's a talented kid, and I'm happy for him, Finiseth said. To see him transfer and do well like that, it's cool to see. I hope JT is healthy and ready to play. It's going to be a fun battle, and it'll be a homecoming for him, so I'm sure it'll be a good moment for him, too. That last part, a good moment for him, is what this game is really about for Tyson. Not revenge, not validation, not proving Deion Sanders wrong. It's about walking back into the stadium where he once limped off injured, where he once stretched the field as a raw freshman, where he once envisioned himself leading Colorado's offense into a new era. Instead, he will lead Arizona State's. ASU head coach Kenny Dillingham said Tyson will likely be a game-time decision as he works back from a hamstring injury, but the message was clear. He's been shooting for this, Dillingham said. This is what he's wanted. This was circled on his calendar. This was the return he hoped would come. For Colorado fans, Tyson's rise may sting, not because Sanders made a mistake, but because this season's roster lacks a true dynamic outside threat like Tyson at full strength. Injuries and inconsistency have plagued the Buffalo's passing attack, and Tyson's skill set fits the kind of vertical, explosive offense Sanders is trying to build. But Sanders was right. Tyson needed time. He needed to grow. He needed to find himself. And he found it in Tempe. The truth is that players evolve differently. Some blossom under new coaches. Some need a new environment. Some need to fail before they thrive. And Tyson's career is a reminder that talent doesn't disappear. It develops. Sometimes it just develops somewhere else. Colorado versus Arizona State is more than a late-season matchup. It's a reunion, a reflection, and a glimpse into the unpredictable nature of college football careers. Fans will cheer. Some may wonder what could have been. But Deion Sanders' words leave little doubt about how he views Tyson's journey. Proud, supportive, honest. And that, more than anything, is what makes this weekend special. Kickoff is set for 6 p.m. Mountain Time on ESPN2, where Jordyn Tyson will either write the comeback chapter he has waited 2 years for, or stand on the sideline, soaking in the familiar air of a stadium that once felt like home. Either way, the moment belongs to him.